it at the line of the wall that's in plumb with this line up here. So that theoretically when you got your wall all the way built, you'd be plumb this way. You see what she's doing there? That's basically all just to tie the string onto. And you can offset the string. Sometimes, like if you're actually laying a masonry wall, you want the string almost right on it, so you line up to it. Sometimes you're going to set off anywhere from 2 to 12 inches, so you just measure back and forth so the string's not in the way. But you want the string taut, and once the string is up, it's kind of sacrosanct, nobody touches it. Because if it moves, it messes up the plumb of your wall. We got some. Yeah, I see the bubbles. Bubbles are getting out of there.
Hey James. Yeah. I think I looked at the.
Okay, so what we've got set up now is a water level, really simple, low-tech tool. All it is this clear tubing and 2 yardsticks, tape, and water. So simple. You can spend a lot of money on a laser level, or spend a lot of time figuring other things out. And so what you want to do is fill this up, tape it to the yardstick. What we're trying to find is the same elevation as the top of that cross piece, so that we can set that elevation over here. We want that to be level with this so that our string line, as it's pulled taut across here, is level. And that's what we'll measure down from or measure up from to get level. So what Jan is doing is holding her her yardstick so the top of her water mark is at the top of the batter board. Now, if you want to get real particular, the water itself has a little curve, has the meniscus on it. It doesn't matter what you pick, just pick the same on both sides. Okay? The other thing to know about water levels is this is the 2-person method. You can take a 5-gallon bucket, drill a hole in the bottom that's the same diameter as this, push it in, silicone it in, let it dry with silicone caulk, and then fill this up, set it up on on something a little bit higher, and then you can walk around with that with 1 person. Okay, and you know what this water level is, and you can work with it that way. So that's easy. One other thing to know that can trip you up with water levels is that if you, let's say, filled this with water and let's say it's been sitting out in the sun and it got real warm and you realize, oh gosh, I got to add a little water to it. If you add cold water to hot water, you're going to get some different, it's going to, as you know, water expands and contracts depending on temperature. When we filled this, we were careful to get the water flowing through so that we ended up with no bubbles. So that you want to flush your bubbles out, you can do that a variety of ways. We just put the hose on one end and let it run with a strong force so we got all the bubbles out. Okay, so Jan doesn't have to stay hold that for too much longer. We're going to come over here, and all we have to do, since water is just going to seek its own level, we're going to come here, let it level out. I'm going to mark it there, and then I'm going to mark it on this side too. Mine went down 3/4 when you moved to your second location. Okay. Let's see. Well, that makes some sense here because I moved elevation. Let's see if we can double check it. Yep, it worked. Okay. So that's great. So that's I think all we need this for. We've got our level here, and somebody wants to grab this, and we can dump the water out, take it over there. someone else can set the top of this next batter board so it meets these 2 points here.
You want this emptied out now, Laura?
Yeah. And when you go to make a mark that you can really read, instead of doing a straight line, if you do a little caret, a little V, it's much easier to get to a point. And you know that's the point. If you do a straight line, it can be angled and stuff. The other thing you can do if you've got batter boards set up that are going to stay for a little while is you can put a notch in the top of the wood just with a handsaw or something so that you really get it, it's going to stay. So after you guys get a screw in there and get your side straight, then we'll pull it taut from this side. And you don't necessarily have to cut your string. You can just leave it attached there. And then wind it back up later. Okay, great. So now we're ready to go ahead and lay these bags. And know that what we want is 6 inches away to get to the edge. However, for the earth bags, it's a little tricky because this bag is going to get wider when we tamp it, right? It's a learning curve. It's not something we're going to get perfect this time, bags in a while. I'm not sure exactly how much they're going to spread out. Let's say that we're going to at least give ourselves 2 extra inches, so we're going to set it so that the full bag that's not tamped is 8 from the string, and take a look. These are going to be so easy to move that we can fiddle with them. If you're working with big bags, you want to practice it, figure out how much they're spreading out, and then stick to that.